Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today I'm going to show you guys a pretty freaking epic game of Rogue Mage 2s against Mage Druid. Actually, an insanely fun matchup from both ends. Definitely had a great amount of fun in this game, but just real quick, happy holidays, guys. I've been gone for almost a week, like 5 days or something. I haven't uploaded, so I'm super excited to do this commentary here for you guys. I was down visiting family, visiting my sister. Met her boyfriend, and I was with Julia, and we just had a blast down in Southern California. Actually stayed in Malibu, so that was freaking awesome. But very glad to be back and bringing you guys this commentary. But that's where I was. That's why you're like, "Where's Xaryu?" Well, he hasn't uploaded in forever. In the future, if you just want to follow me on Twitter, I'll keep you guys updated on there for when I'm not going to be, streaming or uploading to my YouTube channel. Anyway, so getting into this game. Rogue Mage 2s, it's beautiful, it's very beautiful, and the reason, I just broke that blind, that wasn't beautiful, but the reason why Rogue Mage 2s is so fun is because it's a combination of surviving, helping yourself survive, peeling for your partner for him to survive, and turning around and actually doing damage. So you can see we run a lot, but then we actually turn around to get CC and do damage, at the same time. Or, back and forth. So it's very, very fun here. So right now, we're kind of in our running phase. The mage is cheap shot DR'd, and we're just kind of hanging out. We get a full kidney on the druid. I'm getting pretty low HP, but with my blinks, my temp shield, my counterspell, and with my rogue peels, it shouldn't be easy for him to actually land a kill on me. If they do land a kill on me, it's going to have to be in a bash or something like that, but I have a trinket, I have a block, I have rogue peels, so, it's going to be pretty difficult. Every time I fake CS there, just go ahead and sheep the mage. So every time I'm getting low, I can just sheep, line of sight, temp shield, the burst that's coming in, counterspell, blink, immune with prismatic cloak, so many different outs. My rogue gets a pretty awesome sap there onto the druid. I'm pretty low HP, but I have my prismatic cloak blink, so I'm not too worried. I go ahead and start crossing map here to try to kite mage really, really far, and I think I am forced into my ice block here. So at this point in the game, I'm pretty much was kind of like upset I broke that blind, and the whole game hasn't been going very, very well, to say the least. So I'm pretty upset, very, very low HP, but I get to eat here for, I think that was like 10% of my life and 2 ticks of food, so that was not bad at all. My rogue opens there on the mage. I steal that life bloom, which is healing me just a little bit, and I'll take any amount of healing I can get without a healer on my team, so that's great. Got another little bit of food. I'm sitting back down, need a little bit more food here. And I actually get back up to about half HP before he bursts me back down. I keep trying to steal hots, and here I also want to get a little bit of counter pressure on if I can, but mainly just trying to line of sight while my rogue just keeps on poking that mage. So from this, you might wonder, like, how are you ever going to kill if you're just running the whole game? And that's kind of what rogue mage is best at. Like, you run and reset, and then as you're running and reset, they kind of overextend. You get double, you get some cross CC, and then boom, then you go for a one-shot. Right here, I'm too low to even really go offensive, so what's kind of happening is my rogue is CCing both of them and kind of doing damage and letting me run. If the mage is chasing me, my rogue has free reign. My rogue is going to keep, just messing with the mage, kicking mage, stunning mage, doing damage to the mage and the druid. And then if the enemy mage, rather, switches to my rogue, then I get to reset and eat. So either way, it's kind of a good outcome for us, and that's kind of how our comp works. I do go for a sheep there, get locked out by mage, still just playing on pillar, and I actually popped ice form there. It was a really bad ice form, but we did get skinned. I ice formed, he skinned, didn't do any damage with my ice form, but I decided to line of sight and eat. So I'm back to full HP actually from just eating there, and he starts to switch to my rogue. My rogue gets bashed, and I thought he was going to die here. But somehow lives. Trying to go for a sheep on the mage. He does lock me out, sheeps me. My rogue, I think, and actually he had no vanish there. He's just line of sighting, just sitting around pillar. He gets very, very low, and now it's kind of the opposite thing. He's going to run while I mess with the mage. And now it's my turn to just mess with the mage while he runs, eats, whatever, resets, and then the mage is either going to switch to me, like he is here, and let my rogue eat, like my rogue is now, or the mage would chase the rogue, and I would just mess with the mage, keep him slowed, So it's kind of like a back and forth thing. The mage is like, should I chase or not chase type of a thing? And the correct answer for him kind of just depends on the situation. Like, if I was them, I'd probably set up kills on the mage with bashes, get trinket out of the way, get block out of the way, then get trinket out of the way again and then kill, something like that. With sheeps on the rogue, bash the mage and go for setups like that. But they didn't do that till much later on, I don't think. So here we're doing another setup. It's usually something like we want a kidney on the druid to sheep off the kidney, and then a big dance setup on the mage where we do like triple cheap. The mage trinkets that and kind of shuts down our whole go with counter spell and whatever. And we couldn't end up getting a sheep on this druid. I can try without a kidney, but it's usually not worth just spamming sheeps on the druid. So sheep the mage up 3 times here. We did blind the mage during that go just to survive on his cooldowns because we were a little bit scared. And every time he does damage to me, I just blink it, prismatic cloak it, kick it. So here, we actually overlap prismatic cloak and my rogue's kick there for that glacial spike. But see, as he glacial spikes me here, it gets kidneyed. So we pretty much just, every time that mage is trying to do damage, we just have an answer for it. And then the times that we don't are when our health bar gets hurt, but then we can always eat and reset our health bar. So I do get a full sheep there. So it does happen from time to time where you do get those full sheeps. Mage steals ice form though, so he's not going to be able to get stunned. And as temp shields, we're not going to actually get too much done from here. And now we go back to running. Glacial spike coming into my rogue. I thought he was going to die there, but somehow he lives at like 2% life or something. And he sprints across the map. And the mage, instead of chasing rogue, is actually just hitting me, which isn't that bad of an idea, honestly, because if he was just chasing rogue, he'd just be waddling across the map. I do have sheeps for this mage if he does decide to go after me. So I can just, I'm not trying to kill right here, right? I'm just trying to make myself live. The druid gets sapped. That was another beautiful sap there by my rogue. Just spamming frost bolts into this mage. Oh, by the way, I'm not actually a gnome. I'm just morphing to it. So yeah, for the people in the comments, you know, why is he gnome? I'm not actually gnome. My rogue gets sheep, so I take this opportunity to actually just run and get full life and full mana myself. Get quite a bit there, not quite full, but not bad at all. Go ahead and temp shield all of this burst. He steals my temp. I get bashed up. My rogue blinds the mage. I don't know if that was needed, but it's definitely a pretty safe way to play the matchup. He does a late trinket there on the blind, and I get a full sheep on the druid, so we get a huge opener onto the mage. With this huge glacial spike coming in, I think we should be forcing ice block. So there's the ice block. There's the first ice block of the game, and we get 2 of their trinkets as well. And my ice block is actually available again. So the tides are turning. They have no trinkets, no ice block. I have an ice block available to use. I go ahead and blink that spike there. Like I said, I never want to get actually spiked or, you know, ice form damage into me. I just want to save all my damage mitigation for that. And really just survive. So here's the spike, I sheep it. He tries to cast again, I sheep it. Try to sheep the druid, doesn't quite work out for me. I really go for one, but he shifts it and sheet it anyway. You don't want to do that too much though, because if you're using your blinks for mobility or like trying to get sheeps off of it, then you can actually end up killing yourself. So I get a sheep off that kidney. I actually block CC because I definitely thought we were going to kill here with no trinkets, no ice block. But for some reason, I didn't have my ice form available, so it was just coming up right here, and then as I use it, he skins, and yeah, kind of a wasted go. And I actually ice blocked offensively because I had no trinket at that time. I don't think I had a trinket at that time to actually trinket and get out. If I did have a trinket, I should have just trinketed, but decided to go with that crazy offensive ice block. So here I actually just mount up. As you can see, you can blink while casting a mount because it's technically a cast to actually avoid getting into combat. So you can mount up, just run around. So you can actually, that's another way to live. So a lot of people say, how do you live as Rogue Mage 2? That's a very common question because you don't have a healer. Well, you just have to, you know, a bunch of different tricks of the trade with mount, band-aids, food, peeling, running, kiting, HP gain just by, you know, being out of combat, stuff like that. So getting a couple huge shatters here off on the mage, trying to line of sight the polymorph, trying to sheep off the kidney, get that sheep. I get sheep myself. I go ahead and shrink at that, trying to cast a glacial, line the poly. Resheep the druid. And I faked that kick earlier, blinked the poly, so it blinked immune, 3 sheeps druid. Still just doing damage to this mage. Getting a couple shatters off. I popped temp shield, maybe not the best. He goes for a glacial spike, so I just decided to blink it, you know, like normal. And now since I have no blinks, I'm kind of playing by the pillar. So if I'm playing out in the open, it's because I have blinks to actually immune damage. If I'm playing by the pillar, it's because I'm a little more vulnerable. Both trinkets actually come out right here. We get Druid's trinket on that kidney. We got a skin. I get sheep, which I don't mind because it actually heals me a little bit, but my rogue gets bashed. So they're kind of going for bash setups on my rogue now with sheeps on me. which is actually what they should be doing, or vice versa, sheeping my rogue and doing bash setups on me. Either way, they need to be killing in bashes. I think they kind of figured that out a little bit later on. Here was an actual kill opportunity. I Frost Nova'd as my rogue blinded, and my Frost Nova broke the blind and we actually almost kill anyway. So that would have definitely been game if I didn't accidentally break that blind there. I do get a full sheep, but my rogue gets full sheeped. I get counterspelled, so not much I can do. I get a half sheep, the Glacial Spike's coming out, I blink it. I get 3 sheeps into a full kidney, but now I get full sheeped. So, yeah, we got a full blind, broke it, and the 3 sheeps into a kidney, and the mage actually ends up living, which is pretty crazy, just because the CC rotations and the blind broke. But, you know, it's very discouraging right at that moment, because we're like, we've worked all this way just for that opportunity to get the kill. But yeah, didn't actually get it. So we keep playing on. I thought the Druid was going to clone me after that bash, but he decided not to. But see, that's where they're kind of going wrong. He just bashed me for no reason, really. He just bashed me without a kill intent. It has to be used to actually kill, I think, when you're playing Mage Russet Druid 2s. So I'm trying to sheep these spikes here. He gets a little bit of damage off, but I do have a temp shield available and a blink and my trinket. No ice block, though, so if I get too low, it gets kind of scary. But I just need to save my blinks defensively as much as possible. I actually get a full sheep there onto the Druid, and I thought we were going to win here too. The skin goes out on the mage. I'm like, screw it, kill through the skin. I have so much damage. But he has a pretty nice temp shield. He gets overgrowth by that Druid in between the sheep and that sheep shot. And between the overgrowth and the skin and the temp shield, the mage is completely fine. So I'm back to my running. I'm deciding to get some health. My rogue gets bashed, so I immediately just stop and begin to sheep the mage. Mage ranges me. I go ahead and sheep him again, sheep him 2 times, sheep him 3 times, and my rogue is running for his life right now. Back to like 2%. That's why I love this game. That's why I love Rogue Mage 2s, is because you don't have a healer, you know? You're constantly running and keeping an eye out for yourself or your partner, and you always have epic games like this. And just to be clear, Rogue Mage 2s isn't a very good comp. You might ask, like, what rating? And we're not, like, super high rating. We're, like, 2200. But it's very fun comp. It's some of the most fun I've had in this game ever. It's just in Rogue Mage 2s against healer DPS 2s. Just constantly running, trying to live, and then doing bursts and running and trying to live. Because this is just awesome. Anyway, my rogue's getting really low, and I'm getting actually pretty low myself. I tell my rogue to just go eat. I'll be fine for a little bit. I have trinket and blink and whatever. So I trinket this bash. Go ahead and ice barrier. He tries to get a frostbolt off of me. I just blink, run around the pillar. I try to get a sheep. He counterspells me, so I keep lining. My rogue comes back in a little bit here, going for a full sheep. I actually get a full sheep. I need kidneys, and I resheep onto the trinket, doing a good amount of damage. But once again, that mage has that temp shield and a little bit of odds. I totally thought he was going to die there too, the freaking nail biter. But then he goes into his second ice block. And when I say second ice block, I just mean his first ice block came back, because mages only have 1 ice block in this patch. Next patch, they're going to have 2 though. Anyways, just keep line deciding more. We're both hovering around half-life. Dampening is over 50% now, I think. Because this game has actually gone so long. Sorry about the super long game, by the way, guys. But I just needed to upload this one because it's freaking awesome. Sheep the mage a couple more times. Keep line deciding. I get bashed again, so I'm forced into my ice block. That's what I'm saying. If they would have just done bash setups more often, I could have lost this game. My rogue would have been peeling more, though, so it still would have been close. But I think you know, that my alarm clock, Jesus. I think it would have just been a lot closer. Anyway, we get a full sap on the Druid, a nice setup here on the mage, of a kidney after the sap, but the mage actually gets overgrowth and iron bark. So I'm like, ugh, this is never going to end. We're not going to be able to kill these guys. You know, dampening's getting really high, which means it's harder for them to survive, but it's harder for us to survive a little bit too. I'm peeling for my rogue. I decided to eat a little bit, but then I decided to come in and actually peel for my rogue. I sheep the mage up. Now we just need like 1 more go. They have no trinkets, no ice block available. The Druid gets full kidneyed. I actually just go ahead and ice form line of sight into a sheep. And I'm Ebon bolting here instead of frost bolting because I don't have ice form and I don't want my AoE frost bolt to break it. So that's one of the situations to use Ebon bolt. And there was no counter spell available. So 2 sheeps into a full blind, killing the mage. Finally ending it. There it is, guys, about 2100 MMR. That was a crazy intense game of Rogue Mage 2. Super long. Yeah, it's like a 15-minute match. And we don't have a healer, so that was just running and just playing off of peels, and that was awesome. If you liked the video, guys, give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you want more of this stuff. Thumbs down the video, actually, if you didn't like it, just so I know. Comment down below what you guys want to see next time. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!